Hi everyone. Okay, I'm doing dual lives and I'm setting up my phones for dual lives. Okay, I've got this side is TikTok. No, this side's TikTok. Okay, I am good. How is everyone? All right, I'm doing dual lives because I haven't done lives in a while and I'm seeing that, I need to reconnect with my community for a little while. I hope everyone is good. I'm not expecting a whole lot of people over on TikTok, but I am over on Instagram expecting it. So I'm hoping. How is everyone? You guys have some questions? Ooh, Cole is doing the kit. That's very exciting. I'm excited. I haven't done my cleanse since I'm scared. Oh, don't be afraid. It's so good. It's so easy. The Parasite cleanse is so simple. I made it so that it was like something that you could just take like a supplement. Finishing your second cleanse tomorrow. That's awesome. I'm so excited. Did you see anything crazy and take pictures and send them to us? My husband and I are on the cleanse and it's really helping. That's so great. Dr. Mary Catherine Brazil. That's fabulous. That's so good. Have you done the lymph kit yet? Oh my gosh. If the Parasite kit is helping you, the lymph kit is for sure going to help you. The lymph kit can be taken 2 weeks prior to the Parasite cleanse, and then you keep taking it while on the Parasite cleanse. So it's such a good kit. Hi, over on TikTok world. How's it going, everyone? Hi from Texas, Australia. Wow, that's far. Let's see. Can I split the cleanse between my husband and I? It's usually only good for one person. Can you start another cleanse right away? Yeah, you want to wait 7 days between each cleanse. I'm not really expecting a lot of people to talk over on TikTok. So if you're over here listening, you can ask questions. My account is very stagnant, so I figured I'm going to start doing some lives over here on TikTok again to kind of boost some life back into it. Like and follow and subscribe, all those things. Yes, I've seen a lot of worms and feeling great. That's awesome. My kidneys start hurting when I do the cleanse. You want to take a break, make sure you're opening up your pathways, peeing, pooping, and perspiring. That means that you go into a sauna and you go in a cold plunge and you use castor oil on your abdomen and red light to help move things along. You definitely want to drink a lot of fluid while you're on the cleanse. I also recommend cranberry. Like sometimes I get a lot of kidney pain when I'm doing a Parasite cleanse because it's taxing my kidneys so heavily. And as soon as I add some cranberry, I get from Sprouts, they have some organic cranberry pills that you can take. Love them. You can also do tinctures of cranberry, but my suggestion is to do some cranberry juice, real cranberry juice, not the, Ocean Shores or whatever, actual real cranberry juice. So I definitely recommend when you're feeling taxed, like your kidneys and your liver, to give it a little more support that might not be in the Parasite kit. I also recommend doing the lymph kit. That's LYMF. That's one of our newer kits. It came out in May. And you can actually take that in conjunction with the Parasite cleanse so that it kind of helps give you just a little bit more support. It has lion's mane and turkey tail in it, so that's going to help with your brain health as well as break down scar tissue and build up your immune system. You take that in conjunction with something like Immune that has mullein in it, and your immune system is going to be just amazing. The detox dinner, meal, cookbook, or meals, you can go into my profile and go under cookbooks. We have a current cookbook that actually is no meats are in the recipes, but we're working on that and we're actually creating a meat cookbook right now. So if you have any meat recipes, a protein-based meat, and you want to send that to us, that would be great. You can email us team@rogershood.com, and we're working on creating a new cookbook so that we have two cookbooks. We have the vegan cookbook or the vegetarian cookbook, and then we have a meat protein based cookbook. It's really important. The community loves it. I think currently we have 143 or 123 pages or something on our other cookbook. So it's just really nice to be able to have some ideas and options, and with a community we've all been cleansing, and so Send us those recipes. It's really important for the community. Do you like colonics? I love colonics. I did a colonic a few months ago and it changed my health. I really like doing ozone water with the colonics. I also like doing coffee enemas with my colonics. And so I do recommend doing a colonic before, during, and after the parasite cleanses and any sort of cleanse at all, because it just keeps your colon going. You know what I mean? It just helps open up your pathway, keeps you pooping, cleans out anything that could be in your colon. So what happened if I skip the binder? It's okay, Cole, if you skip the binder. You really just want to take the binder as much as you can, as long as you're going pooping. If you're going poop, you're good. You can keep going. But for those of you that just joined, I recommend starting with the Lymph Kit. That's LYMF. You can find everything inside of my profile, everything I talk about on any of my videos or on any of my accounts. You can find it in our profile. And I recommend doing the lymphatic kit 2 weeks prior to the parasite cleanse. That will help open up your pathways. You never want to do a cleanse if you're not peeing, pooping, or perspiring. Perspiring in a sense that, like, if you're outside running and you should be sweating. If you're in a sauna, you should be sweating, not just sitting around sweating, right? So it's really when it needs to happen. That's when you open up that pathway. All right, TMI, but does it mean when my husband is going to the bathroom and wiping and seeing mucus? Yes, 100% he can see mucus while he's peeing. Things coming out of our body can come out our urine, our skin, our mouth, our eyes. Mucus finds its way out of our body because it's considered like a toxin to our bodies, and so it's going to push it out the best that it can. So yes, it can be normal. Can you take gutty midday? Sure, if you'd like to. We recommend doing it in the morning, but you're more than welcome to do it midday. Hi, Jessica. I would like to start, but don't know how. I also have a thyroid issue, don't know. It's cool, man. Okay, so here's what you do. You go into my profile. I have a couple of ebooks that are free. Fast Track Guide is the first one that I recommend doing. Order yourself the Lymph Kit, LYMF, and also the Parasite Cleanse Kit. And that's because the Lymph Kit helps open up your pathways. You take it 2 weeks prior to the Parasite Cleanse, and you continue to take it on the Parasite Cleanse to just keep your pathways open. You can also download that Fast Track Guide. That's going to give you all the information that you can think of to get your pathways open, how to get started. And then you can also email us, team@rogershood.com. We're more than happy to talk with you more in depth about what to get going. We also have a free cookbook. It's like 123 pages long that helps you with the food and guides you, and there's some grocery lists that are in there. So I recommend downloading all of this free resource and then going and grabbing your Lymph Kit and your Parasite Kit. I also really like the Super Lymph because it has Red Artist. Red Artist is one of my favorite tinctures. It's just a really overall good tincture to help with your nervous system and help your digestion under control. And you can take it before, during, after the Parasite Cleanse. It's usually something that sells out because it's such a good tincture. It has red belted polypore and artist conch in it. Those are foraged mushrooms out in the woods. And then we double extract, making a tincture so you get all of the yummy medicine from those herbs. Is there a full kit I can just purchase? Yep, Parasite Cleanse. I recommend getting Super Parify. It is the best. How can I be an affiliate? Email us, team@rogershood.com. You can email us and we'll send you the link if you'd like to be an affiliate. We have 1,000 affiliate, 1,000 follower threshold, but we also look at accounts individually if you don't follow that threshold. So you can email us, team@rogershood.com, and we're happy to go through your Instagram and your TikTok and any of your YouTube and to take a look at your accounts to see if you qualify to be an affiliate. Our affiliate program is really great. You get a discount, you get a little commission. When I started this, I didn't want anyone to talk about my company without making some sort of a profit if you qualified under the affiliate guidelines. So just so you guys know, we have an affiliate program. Can a 13-year-old use this cleanse? Absolutely. This cleanse is good for ages 3 and up. 3 and up. Let's see. What about someone who struggles with gallstones? Will a Parasite Cleanse make your symptoms worse? Usually it won't. It will help push some of those stones out of your body. There is a possibility that you could have some die-offs while you're on the Parasite Cleanse. So I do recommend, Lisbeth, that you start with the Lymph Kit And then once you get the lymph kit going, then you can take a gauge to see if that's something you want to continue to do. The lymph kit has Sustain, which is a little anti-parasitic. It has Oregon grapefruit. So I do recommend starting with the lymph kit, get your pathways open, get everything going. And then at the same time, order your Parasite cleanse, but it will flush a lot of things out of your body. So it's parasites, worms, candida, heavy metals, viruses. It really helps the organs get moving again that are stagnant and that might be overwhelmed with all of these environmental toxins that we're constantly fighting. So I do recommend to start with the lymph kit. I need to plug this phone in just to make sure my batteries don't go dead. It's been a minute since I've done dual lives. All right, I bought the mold kit, was cleaning out my house. Could you explain how to take it? Yep, it's 3 tinctures and a binder. That's it. You take it 3 times a day. You can add it to water or juice or tea and just take shots of it 3 times a day. I know the mold kit states that, Immune and Recover can be 1 to 2 times a day, but honestly, just take it 3 times a day. Immune and Recover are support tinctures, so it's not like you're going to overdose on anything. Our kits are very gentle. They help move things along without you needing to stop your cleanses, right? So the whole thing is as gentle as it is, it's still getting in there. It's still effective. You don't have to necessarily do a lot of prep prior to cleansing with our kits because the herbs get in there and work, whether you're changed your eating or you're doing all of the things. You just really need to make sure you're peeing and pooping and perspiring, which are really important to make sure you're peeing and pooping. TMI, what does it mean? Oh, I already read that one. Hi. Okay. Thank you for doing this live. So much info on the web, but hearing you make most sense. Thank you for all your holistic love you share with us. You're so welcome. I know there's so much out there, but you got to just remember in your mind that you're doing what's best for your body. So if something doesn't feel aligned, don't do it. And definitely make sure you do as much research as you can. That's why I give all this information for free, including my website, including my podcast. That's why I podcast all the time with people, is to give the information to the community so that you have a sound decision before you put something into your body that you're not sure of, right? That's what started this whole thing 4 years ago. Some of you might not know because you're new to my accounts. I've been doing this every day since July of 2021. I literally talk about parasites, worms, mold, Lyme, and environmental toxins every day. It's all I do. I travel around the country to talk about it. I have multiple cleanses to talk about it because this is something that's been missed in the wellness community as well as Western medicine. And so I feel like we really need to give ourselves a good solid cleanse here and there, at least 3 to 4 times a year, to really give ourselves a break. I mean, we are inundated on a daily basis with heavy metals from the sky to our water to our food, and it's really important that we allow our body to try and heal itself. And a lot of times that looks like we need to give it a little bit of a break, which means that's where you bring in the modalities, that's where you bring in these cleanses, that's where these herbs come from. It's allowing our bodies to take a break so it can do its job, which is to heal itself. You try and get yourself out of fight or flight, and a lot of these herbs will help with that. In the lymph kit, I added lion's mane, which helps your brain, detox your brain. A lot of people forget you got to actually go in and detox your brain along with your body. And so it's important for us to understand our human body and to reconnect with it. And a lot of times these cleanses will help with that. Environmental toxins like parasites, they hold a frequency, and that frequency is alive in our bodies, and it's creepy and it's gross, but like you can actually help cleanse that out by using specific herbs that are in the Purify Parasite Cleanse. So I know there's a lot of things out there now about parasites. Might have had a little bit to do with that. All right, let me go to the next question. Let's see. Just did a full moon cleanse, released a few critters after an intense purge. That's awesome. Better out than in is the most important thing because they're sucking our energy force. They're really like taking up to 90% of our nutrients. They can hold 6 to 8 times their weight in spores. Our kids should be doing this. This should be something that we start with our children so that they have an understanding of what this looks like in life instead of, living uncomfortably and not being able to vocalize how they don't feel well. And like, really, if you think about it, we can continue to keep making this a not taboo subject. You know what I mean? Like, I try and make it as fun as possible and talk about it in so many different ways that it is a fun thing for us to do in Western medicine countries, because other countries do this. It's not just me on the internet or other people on the internet saying these things. Literally, other countries know that worms are an actual issue. We just don't. Ashwagandha is good for the stomach. Ashwagandha is a really good herb. I take it a few times a week. I am not a person, though, that other than my cleanses, I actually rotate a lot of my supplements around. At one point, I used to take all of my supplements consistently for years, and then when I got my labs back, it showed that like my supplements kind of plateaued. So now I do things based on how I feel. So when I'm traveling a lot, I'm really focusing more on my gut, because my gut health gets damaged while I'm traveling. I do my best to eat as best as I can, and so I really feel like I do that. But when I don't, I do those digestive enzyme herbs, and then I really build that part back up for my body. And so I'm switching my herbs and my supplements around, other than when I'm doing like a strict cleanse. I want to try along with my whole family. Are there age limits? Ages 3 and up can do our cleanse. Any age below 3, I just have to say it's only 3 and up because of Oregon grapefruit. It's a little bit more of a stricter herb, so that's why I added 3. Some other herbs you can take when you're ages 2 and up, so I have to say 3 because Sustain has that, and it's in our Parasite kit. So if you feel confident to give it to your child, you're more than welcome to by researching, but I have to say ages 3 and up. Yes, safe for 10 and 15-year-olds for sure. Does the kit get diminished? I don't know, decimate infections. I mean, it helps cleanse the body. After your cleanse, I had some fungal outbreaks. You can keep going, Ellie, and that can happen because 30 days is not enough to completely push out candida. And so a lot of fungal outbreaks can be caused from candida. I also recommend, if that's what's happening to you, you should look at our Moldies kit. Our Moldies kit helps with fungus. It also helps boost your immune system and helps with hair, skin, and nails. And you can, since you've already done a cleanse, you can start the Moldies kit. I also recommend doing the Lymph kit because Lymph kit has Sustain. Sustain is a tincture that has Oregon grapefruit and usnea helps break down candida. So I recommend, if you have a lot of fungal issues, specifically candida, you should take Sustain like every day. I take Sustain every day. I have mass amounts of candida in my body. Sustain is a daily tincture that I take. I'm done. I took my dose. I think this is my second one of the day. Like, it's not easy, you guys. It's like really that simple. It's really a simple cleanse. Who wants to do a complicated cleanse? I don't. Yes, all of our tinctures have alcohol. That's how we pull the medicine out of our herbs, is alcohol. Okay. If I missed your question, please ask me again. I will answer it. Thoughts on turpentine. That's so funny. You're the second person today to talk to me about that. See, I really like the fact that the Parasite kit is a whole cleanse kit and you don't really have to think. When you use turpentine, you do have to think. You have to make sure you have a binder. You have to make sure you put the correct amount on the sugar cube if that's how you're going to do it. The reason why they recommend sugar cubes for terp is because of the fact that that draws out the parasites, and once it draws out the parasites, then the terp goes in. But like, you're not getting the eggs. You're not going in and removing heavy metals. You're gonna create possible more candida in your body. So there's really a system that's involved that you really need to have done when you're parasite cleansing. It's not a one and done, and you do need to have other herbs that help sweep out heavy metals that it's gonna dump and help sweep out the candida, help sweep out the viruses. Because what's happening is that these environmental toxins are housed in a biofilm, and we actually go in that biofilm and we break it down with an herb called lungwort lichen, and that's in our metal flush. So it's actually burning down their house, exposing them, and then the herbs go in and slowly pick out each one of the environmental toxins that's living in that house. When you use just one type of remedy like terp, you are not getting rid of all of those, and then you're not binding because it's not being told to you to bind. And so all of the things that the terp is not removing out of your body absorb right back into your body. And you can create more of an environmental toxic storm inside of your body if you're not doing it correctly. So I've been doing this almost 4 years now. Well, over 4 years actually, but the Parasite kit it will be 4 years old next month. And these are all the things that I learned. And so maybe some of you don't know who I am. And I come from Western medicine. I'm a Western medicine refugee. I now teach people how to live holistically and utilize the balance between Western medicine and holistic living, cleansing, using things like HBOT, NAD. So utilizing all of the resources that we have. And I almost died from parasites, mold, and Lyme. I was in the end stages of Lyme. And so I was misdiagnosed for the last 20 years. And so now I really want people to understand how to cleanse their bodies in a safe fashion. And that's why I created the Parasite kit. I also then created the lymph kit because I know we got to move our lymph system. I also know that we needed to have a very gentle Lyme kit, and that's what the lymph kit is. It is a combination of a lymphatic drainage kit using Lyme herbs. You bring in things like usnea and you bring in things like cat's claw. They're going to help mitigate the symptoms of Lyme. They're going to help mitigate the symptoms of parasites. They're going to help you feel better so that you can go to the next level of feeling good. And this is everything that I've done the last 4 years that I've literally documented on my accounts, showing how well everything I'm doing is working. And it really is just a good start to actually go in and utilize herbs, right? Okay, recommended for using psyllium husk as a binder. Psyllium husk isn't a binder, so I don't recommend psyllium husk as a binder. Binders are a negatively charged herb like zeolite, fulvic, charcoal, clay. Cinnamon is our binder, and it has Ceylon cinnamon and coconut activated charcoal. So it's a negatively charged herb that is a magnet for positively charged toxins. That's all a binder is. And I currently have charcoal as our binder, but I'm working on not just having a charcoal binder. I struggle with charcoal myself. So I've been looking at using fulvic, spirulina, and some cinnamon to be my binder in addition to what we have for cinnamon, so that we can, those of us that are charcoal sensitive, which I didn't know that I couldn't use charcoal when I first created the Parasite kit. It's all about having a binder. And so we want to have more fluidness with using binders. So fulvic is a really good binder. Clay, but clay is restrictive just like charcoal is restricted. So how did I know I had candida? Well, I have systematic candida, and I have it all over my body, and when it flares, it like hurts my joints, and I get like things going on in my nails. And so it's just, everybody has yeast in their body, and candida is an overgrowth of yeast. And so when you have an overgrowth of yeast, it turns into a parasite called candida. A parasite definition is anything that lives off of a host. And so candida brainwashes you to think you need more sugar so that it can keep thriving and creating more and more overgrowth of yeast in your body. And so a lot of us will have it here soon because of the holidays coming up. And so we really want to mitigate that. And the best way to do that is to proactively take the cleanse. So I actually take Parasite prior to eating questionably, and during the holidays I'm going to be going home to my family, and they eat a lot of sugar. So in order for me to not crave that sugar and then feel really angry if I'm not getting sugar, I will take the Parasite kit prophylactically to allow myself to enjoy what I'm doing, you know. So, oh hey, my backup count is here. My account here on TikTok is struggling. So if you could follow and share and go and like my videos. I have been stuck at 588.5 for almost 6 months. I will gain 100 followers and I will lose 150. And so I'm really struggling with my accounts. Instagram is starting to become kind of stagnant, and so I'm creating new fun content ideas for us. But big tech censors me very heavily, and I hate to be like a broken record about that. But if you're not following me on Instagram and you're not following me on TikTok, please go follow me. It triggers the algorithm to allow me to be seen more again. And so what happens a lot with big tech is that I went really viral on TikTok. Then I pulled myself over to Instagram. I started going viral on Instagram. TikTok didn't like that. And now I'm starting to go viral on YouTube. And so Instagram and TikTok are like, And so I'm creating this environment where all of these different platforms are starting to become really upset at the fact that you go viral one place. It's really the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So if you're not following me on all my platforms, please take a moment here to go and follow me and share and like my videos so that I can continue to keep doing this. We only sell our product on our website and we only advertise on social media right now. We are working towards changing that, but it is the only place that we sell our products. So when I'm hidden by these big tech companies like I have been, it really hurts our company. And so I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but we make our own product in a 10,000 square foot manufacturing facility, and I have over 40 team members. And so we all do this collectively. This is what our missions are here in our life, is to talk about environmental toxins and help you guys understand how to cleanse them out of your body. That's why I created my own podcast called What's Eating You, with the letter U, if you go over to YouTube and subscribe to that. Also, if you have not done so, go and subscribe to our email list, because that is where we give the information out first. I have been so busy, I haven't had time to do lives, and I'm trying to dedicate more time to do lives because it's really important to me to talk to you guys as my community directly like I am, and to be able to answer your questions. But I haven't been able to do as many because I've been so busy building everything else on the back end. So I'm working on that. We're also bringing someone in to Rogers Hood to do lives, even though we're not on TikTok Shop and we're not on IG Shop now. We're actually bringing someone in so that they can come and talk to you guys directly as well. Her name is Mel. We're really excited about it. So she'll be doing something similar to what I'm doing right now, where we're doing lives across all of our platforms on the Rogers Hood Apothecaries account, which is our business account. So make sure you go and follow that account as well, because that account will be where she does lives a few times a week, a couple of hours a day, to just give information out, to allow you to have someone to ask questions. She's amazing. Her resume basically is like Tony Robbins. She's a motivational speaker. She ran our bug out program we had at the beginning of the year, where we held your hand while you were cleansing. She's just such a great person. She's so amazing. She's so full of knowledge. We're going to try and do some dual lives together as well, but she'll just be here to answer questions and to just really help you guys understand cleansing a lot better. I don't necessarily recommend fend bend. I recommend doing herbs, and that's because a lot of people don't bind with it. You still need to come in and do other frequencies like the Parasite or other synthetic drugs, because the synthetics are only a specific frequency. You can actually stir up other parasites like pinworms. A lot of synthetics do not cover pinworms. Synthetics meaning fend, ivor, mend, all of the big pharma. Plus you're putting big pharma on your body. I think that people forget when they're in this anti-parasitic world that you really need to be still doing organic herbs when you're cleansing these things out. You bring in big P and you're living on big P still. You know what I mean? And here we're trying to get away from that. They've kind of lied to us. So do you need to do the lymph before Parasite? You don't have to do it, Wendy. It's just really recommended to do it because it's got 3 tinctures and a binder, and it just helps you understand the system of what it looks like for 3 tinctures and a binder. The lymph kit though is really amazing. It's a wellness kit. It's not a cleanse. It's a wellness kit. So it has turkey tail, lion's mane, sarsaparilla. It helps repair your DNA with the cat's claw. It helps boost your mitochondria. It really gets in there and helps with your brain fog. Lion's mane passes through the blood-brain barrier, the GABA. So it actually is like the driver of these other herbs. So you're getting herbs into your brain that you might not ever have gotten in there before, to just really help repair neurons that are misfiring, and to help break down any sort of mucus and biofilm and scar tissue that might be happening inside of your body from these environmental toxins. Like mine was a ton of different issues that I was having because of endometriosis and the scar tissue because of that. So if you have hypothyroid, I got a couple questions about that. We give you instructions to just do your normal thyroid meds, and then you wait an hour, just like anything else. These are all supplements. They're all something that you go in and you follow your normal medications unless you're on blood thinners or chemo meds, and then you cannot take any antiparasitics in my opinion, but specifically not Parasite. That's the big one, was recommended for my gut and brain. Do you still pass Parasite? Yes, you can still pass parasites on the lymph kit. It's because when you get your lymphatic system moving and open, they can live in our lymph. And so you want to make sure you're getting that open, right? So some people actually have passed more parasites on the lymph kit than they did the Parasite kit because they finally got their lymphatic system open with the lymph kit. So then I used herbs like Oregon grapefruit and sustain, which is part of the lymph kit. And so it's still kind of an anti-parasitic cleanse, but it's just not as harsh as Parasite. Parasite is specific to parasite cleansing because of wormwood with the Oregon grapefruit. So when you're looking at how all of these herbs synergistically work together, you're opening up your pathways, you're getting rid of the waste. Your lymphatic system does not have a pump. It does not have a sphincter. It is actually, thank you for the gifts, it is actually your sewer, which is so wild that our bodies did not have a pump for our sewer systems. So you have to manually do this. And a lot of us chronically ill people, we don't move our lymphatic system. We don't move our bodies the way we're supposed to be doing it. We don't sweat, so we don't like going into the sauna. We don't like the cold. I love the cold. People don't like the cold. That's a good way to get your lymphatic system moving. But unfortunately, when you're chronically ill, you don't do these things. And so sometimes you have to bring in things like herbs to get that going. Once you get your lymphatic system moving with the lymph kit, then when you start to take the Parasite kit, it is such a great cleanse. And you take the lymph kit while you're on the Parasite kit to keep your pathways open, to keep you feeling good, to keep your brain fog away. Because once your brain fog starts to go away, your whole body starts to follow suit. It's like, oh my God, I totally have time to soak my produce. Oh my God, I totally have time to put a filter on my water system. Until then, it is a struggle. And I get that because I've been in this world for decades. I have been sick most of my life. And so I understand that when you go down and you have a flare, it is a lot of moving parts to get yourself going. But if you can take some tinctures to just really help move your body, it is so important. It is so important. We have somewhat been lied to about our bodies, right? I come from Western medicine as someone who's in general population like you guys are, some of you. It is very difficult to fully understand the human body, and I've really tried hard to make it easier for people to understand that, like, you just got to get your lymphatic system moving. You got to get some herbs to help move out of your organs, like your kidneys and your liver. They just need a little bit of assistance in order for it to go, oh my God, okay, muscle memory. Let's do this, right? So what is the shelf life for the Parasite kit? It's 3 years. It's 3 years is the shelf life. Definitely open it up and take a look at it. It's alcohol-based herbs, so it should last even longer than 3 years. There will be settlement in it. So let me show you what settlement can look like to you. This one, let me show you this one because I think this one has some. This is settlement, and it's because we use real herbs. So they can settle inside of there. You know, we do our best to keep it shake, but like things can get attached to it and to get discolored. I want to do a Parasite cleanse, but I'm afraid. Don't be afraid, Mary, of the side effects. You can always pause your Parasite cleanse as well and take a 3 to 5 day break if things get really intense. The nice thing about tinctures is that with tinctures, you can actually adjust. If you don't want to take 15 drops, it's 15 drops 3 times a day. You can literally just take it 5 drops, 10 drops, once a day, twice a day. The difference between tinctures and actual pills is that pills, you have to digest them. And then when something is energetically stealing 90% of your nutrients, it's also stealing some of the product that you're trying to take to kill them. And so some might get it and some might not. when you take an actual tincture, it gets right and readily bioavailable into your bloodstream immediately, and it's not fighting with anything. The herbs get absorbed immediately into your mouth, and they do live in our blood, our tissue, and our muscle. So it could change the way that you taste things because you're starting to kill things internally in your mouth. It will help with your oral health too. If you notice how white and clean my teeth are, and it's because I do a lot of oral health things, but also when I take the Parasite cleanse, it really does help inside of my mouth. So that's a few things that you guys can think about when you're looking at what cleanse best suits you. Of course, I always will say that it's always going to be the Purified Parasite cleanse, right? Okay. I release parasites. They're like demons, 100%. They are the weirdest things. Just so you guys know, I have like a 100-page ebook. All my ebooks are free. All of my knowledge is free. I do not charge for any of my ebooks or any of my information or any of my podcasts or any of my speeches. I only charge for my kit, and that's to assist us in order for us to continue to get this information out to the masses. And so what I do recommend is to go and download the free Parasite Identification book and take a look at it and see what aliens might come out of your body. I also recommend downloading the free Fast Track guide. I have a free drainage guide. I have a free cookbook. I am working on another cookbook that actually has meat protein in it versus the vegetarian one where you can add any meat, clean, grass-fed, grass-finished meat into your regimen of those recipes. So it's not a total loss if you download that without the meat, but I have researched a lot over the last couple of years, and you really do need to have some good solid protein while you're cleansing to give your body a little bit of extra help. Alexis says, you're doing God's work. Thank you. You're welcome. I just think it's crazy that we haven't been told this about our bodies. I also think it's really crazy that I'm in 2025 and I've been doing this every day since 2021. Every day. I've talked about parasites. I think I'm at 1,485 days in a row. I've talked about parasites every day of those days. I've never missed a day talking about parasites, worms, mold, Lyme, environmental toxins, and how real they really are, and how they're crippling our country here with autoimmune. We have the worst health in the world, and it really has a lot to do with the fact that Western medicine has denied the fact that environmental toxins are real. Some of you guys know me as Worm Queen, but also a lot of people don't know, but I actually had mold poisoning while I was doing all of this from 21 to 22. And so from 2022 on, I have been battling mold poisoning as well as Lyme. And so it all started though with one parasite cleanse. One cleanse showed me all of the different things that are wrong with my body in order for me to have some energy and allow my body to help. What are my credentials? So I come from Western medicine. I've been in Western medicine since 2004. I hold 2 healthcare degrees. I was valedictorian in both of my degrees. I then went into the field and I helped with neurology, endocrinology, urgent care, emergency room, x-ray, EEGs. I did assortment of things. Once I left the field, I ended up going into academia where I ran 25 healthcare colleges. I wrote the curriculum. I served on medical advisory boards. I wrote multiple different medical books for multiple different authors and publishing companies like McGraw-Hill, Pearson, and Cengage. So I come from this world, and then in 2019 I almost died, and it all had to do with the fact that I have chronic end stages of Lyme as well as mold and parasites. They all started to overflow my toxic bucket, and it just got to be to a point where my husband and I were ready to say goodbye to me. And then in 2021, I was on TikTok and I scroll with purpose, just like you guys are doing right now. I like to learn and I use social media that way. I actually said social media. I use social media as my bitch because let me just be honest with you. This information needs to be out there, and this is the best way to get it out there. So I started talking about it on TikTok, and in the last 4 years, this is what I've done. I created a business over this. I have a 10,000 square foot manufacturing facility in one building, and we decided to keep our other manufacturing facility, which is 3,400 square feet, to make the products. So we manufacture our own product because it's so important to me to be transparent and to be able to confidently give you all products so that you can have good quality products in your body. She is lying. Okay, let's block you. Block. Yeah, I'm not lying. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So next, let's answer some more questions. I released 100 pounds when my water filter you did? Yo, man, the inflammation is wild when you change your water over to a filter and then do some of these parasite practices. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. What I used to look like to what I look like now, completely different, mostly inflammation. I haven't dropped that many pounds, maybe 70 pounds total, but really what it is inflammation in our body. You can buy it on rogershood.com. Our body is full of inflammation. So when you start doing this, you might not ever see parasites, but you definitely will lose some inflammation. They live in mucus. So they live in a biofilm. They live in inflammation. They live in there. They absorb all of these things that we're eating and we're breathing. They absorb them all. And so you definitely want to do a cleanse just to get rid of some inflammation. I was just thinking that it's been a year since I saw you. Yeah, it's because TikTok has just totally shut my account down. So I've decided that I'm going to start doing some lives, do lives like this. I'm seeing it happen over on Instagram, and it's like, what are you going to do? You know, you just have to keep on doing what I'm doing. So, oh yeah, mucus is totally their superhighway. Does your product eradicate all? It doesn't eradicate. This is never going to be a one and done. We are exposed on a daily basis. If you eat fish, if you eat salmon specifically, if you eat raw produce, if you don't cook your meat well done, if you have pets, you have parasites. It's just something that we as a society did not realize because Western medicine has indoctrinated us, telling us this just isn't a thing with us. And so it is. It really is hygienic. It really is a thing. And so if you start to do cleanses and you start to feel better, why not keep doing it? They're herbs. They're gentle. They're not going to hurt you. So I became an expert with Demondex, bro. Okay, cool, man. I don't know what that is, but awesome. Decline that. What is your hair like critters that I've seen? I'm not sure. How do you get your detox pathways be open? So the first thing is you want to try and start with the lymph kit, LYMF. That's our kit. It helps open up your pathways. But you also want to make sure you're doing things like red light, sauna, cold plunging. I do hyperbaric chamber oxygen therapy to help keep my pathways open. I do infrared saunas. Like I do a lot of things to keep my pathways open. Ms. Rogers, you've changed my life, and I wanted to tell you for the bentonite clay put on the list not to use metal. Oh, yeah. You can't use bentonite clay and metal. Like, don't scoop it with the metal. Thank you. Aw, Instacilos. I'm so glad. I'm just here navigating the words that are told to me and helping you. You are the one that gets up every day, and you are the one that takes the cleanse, and you're the one that takes your own advocacy in your own hands. I'm just here to cheer you on. I'm here to provide you knowledge. I'm here to provide a service for a cleanse. I am just here to help navigate what we have been lied to about, which is environmental toxins really do hurt our bodies, and that we are in an epidemic of chronic illness, and it has a lot to do with parasites, mold, Lyme, and heavy metals, and things that we just never knew would affect us to the point that it's creating a chronic illness environment for all of us. The mother gene, the MTHFR gene, definitely can affect the way that you absorb methylated vitamins, and that can also, in supplements, and that can also cause you to not get those nutrients into your body that helps your organs move, right? So if you think about a car, you put good gas and good oil in your car to make it move. We're the car. We need to put good gas, a good oil in our car. That's food, that's supplements. And unfortunately, when you have the motherfucker gene, it creates an environment so it's not methylating, so it's not going into your blood the way it should, and it's causing your body to have to spin its wheels. So when you find out you have the mother gene, you actually can go and pivot to different supplements, which will help boost your organs, which will help boost your body, and it'll help keep some of those things like parasites and mold out. But when you take our cleanse, it's very gentle. We've had a lot of mother people take it. I'm one of them. I have that gene. My best friend Sam, which you guys have seen, she's the co-host and she's my best friend. She has both genes. And also Dr. J, who's my personal doctor, has both genes. And they take my cleanse just fine. They love it. It works well for them. So, okay. Do I have a website? rogershood.com. Also, anytime a creator is on any of these platforms, if you go up into their link, that's where everything normally is that they talk about. For me, it's like my resume. It shows all my podcasts. It shows all of my ebooks. It shows all of the practitioners that I recommend. This is more than just I run a business. This literally is my calling. And I'm going to provide you with all of the information that you need. And so all of my doctors that I know believe everything we're doing, because this is a real thing, are in there. All of my podcasts are in there. All of the resources you could ever think of. All of my press, because I've done some press over this last year. So everything you could ever think of is in my link tree. And most creators, that's where it's at as well, is up in their profile. What about RA? I believe that when you have RA, you can actually get some pain relief by doing a parasite cleanse. And that's because you are relieving some of these things that are in the joints. I'm going to make you a moderator then. Will it let me? I don't know how to do that. So things like mold and parasites and Lyme live in the joints. They live in that fluid in the joints. And so they cause us to have pain. That inflammation causes us to have pain. Listen, right now I've got a candida flare. I've got a little bit of pain and itching on the side of my leg, and I have candida there. And so I'm itching it and it hurts and it burns. And it's because they're like needles, right? It's like living inside of there, growing and pushing on my joints and pushing, and it's painful. And so when I'm able to alleviate some of that, my body can then go in and heal. It can go in and help. Right? So that's the whole point of this. The whole point is not to have the word cure. The whole point is to have a better quality of life, to allow your body to get out of fight or flight. We live in fight or flight. Wouldn't it be nice if once in a while, when you're chronically ill or you're having these ailments that nobody knows what to do with, you get a break from it? You can get so much energy from just getting a few days break of the constant grind. So thank you. Someone said I look amazing. Thank you. Thanks. I've been working hard, man. I do this every day. I literally work on my body doing something on a daily basis. And so it's really important that, you take what I'm saying and go and research yourself, research what you're doing, because we are not in a society in Western medicine that is going to heal us. Western medicine is here to save our life. If you have an emergency, please go to Western medicine. If you need some additional assistance, please go to Western medicine. I go to Western medicine. I'm having some issues with my hip and my knee. I have to go to Western medicine. But am I bridging Western medicine with my other ways? Absolutely. I'm doing hyperbaric chamber oxygen therapy. I'm doing PRP. I'm doing stem cells. I'm utilizing all of these cool modalities that are out there in order to heal my body. But it all started because I had parasites and I did a parasite cleanse. And so that's what you in your mind need to look at. I did do a hair analysis, Jasmine, and it came back positive that I am allergic to salmon. Like, how funny is that? I'm allergic to salmon. I had just gotten off a cleanse too, and it said I had heavy metals and parasites in my body, which I didn't, because I just got off a frequency of a cleanse. Everything's frequencies, you guys. Like, our bodies are all frequency. And so when I did my hair analysis a couple of weeks ago, it came back and said that I actually was allergic to salmon, and that I had some parasites in my body, which, it's not shocking. I mean, I do eat questionably sometimes. I'll eat some seafood. I don't eat salmon, which makes me very sad because I love salmon. But I do eat questionably here and there. So, you know, it's not a one and done. We're human. We're the best host. I have heavy metals and your minerals are off. I mean, before you go and do anything crazy, do a parasite cleanse. I think people think it's crazy, but it's really not that crazy to take wormwood, Oregon grape root, cilantro, burdock root, some white willow bark. Synergistically, it's just helping your body break down biofilms, break down mucus. It helps with candida. We all have a little candida, especially the holidays coming up. We're going to be eating a lot of sugar. Try and mitigate that, right? Don't get yourself to a point where you're so chronically ill that you can't do things. That's where I was. And so now I realize that the more proactive I am, the more I do things prophylactically, the better I am when I am faced with adversity with my health, which is where I'm at right now. I am in some pain. I have been in some pain for a couple of months now. I've been able to ignore it. I've been able to kind of baby the pain for a while. And now I'm in a little bit of pain from an old injury that I got in 2021. And so now I'm able to really like hone in because I've got some energy going on in my body because I'm constantly being proactive. I'm not letting anything just settle in my body. I'm actually like, oh yeah, man, I traveled. I drank some ice, right? I had some ice in my, so now I'm going to cleanse because I know what this looks like if I don't allow it. Oh, someone wrote, I'm pretty much against Big Pharma. You know what's bothering is, yeah, I mean, I've been up against them I worked in Western medicine, so I worked with them. So I've been able to see behind the veil. I know exactly what goes on and I know exactly how their techniques are. And so, I mean, I'm like a Western medicine refugee at this point. I'm also not necessarily in the full spectrum of the wellness community either, because I really do feel like this is a miss in the wellness community. You can do all these supplements. You can do all of these modalities, but if you're not cleaning your soil, if you're not in there digging in that soil and cleaning it out, you're kind of wasting your money, in my opinion. You got to get in there. You got to get a good baseline of what this looks like for you and how you feel. And then you build on that. You build on cleaning your soil and then building your structures and building your health. That's how you have to look at it. This is a job. This is almost sometimes some people like myself, it's a full-time job with my health. But I make sure that if I'm out there eating questionably, if I'm out there living my life, because that is what you need to do. We just want a better quality of life, right? I like cinnamon. That's my binder. If you have a hard time with charcoal, then I like Toxin Pull. It's a fulvic. And then Rogers Hood is actually working on doing another binder. It'll have fulvic in it instead of charcoal. Some people can't take charcoal like myself. I struggle with charcoal. All right, this was a very passionate live. Very passionate. I was coming full blazing with the knowledge. I'm going to start doing lives again. It's kind of my goal. I want to do them at least once a week. I miss lives. It's so impactful. On Instagram, I can save my live. I can't do that yet on TikTok. So I do recommend if you did miss any of this, and I did actually go through quite a bit of information to go through and actually watch it over on Instagram. You can also watch me over on What's Eating You. That's my podcast on YouTube or any streaming platform. What's Eating with the letter U. We actually had a new episode drop today about water. So I recommend going and watching that. You can find anything I talk about. Again, the link's in my profile. You can also email us anytime. You can go on my website, rogershood.com. And I do recommend starting with the lymph kit when you're going to do a cleanse. And then you can keep taking that lymph kit. You can then pivot over to the Parasite kit while you're still on the lymph kit. Lots of info. Thank you so much for coming across my FYP. You're welcome. You have really nice teeth. They're real. They're not veneers. They're real. Real teeth. Yeah, I've worked hard. They didn't always look this nice. I've had to work really hard on keeping them white because I used to be a smoker. And then I worked really hard because I was a smoker for decades Aw, thanks, Jenny. I know, right, man? I'm working on it. Like this I'm getting down, this little white or this little red thing. This is melasma, which I've worked on. It's from sun damage on my skin. I use red light. Some red light actually will make it worse. So I use a cold light, a cold laser. And so I've heard that sometimes you can make it worse by red light. And so I was using just like a specific red light that wasn't special and it made it worse. So can you continue? Yeah, you don't change anything, Renee, when you're doing our cleanse. Oh, someone said the product is great. But you can't do it if you're on chemo meds or blood thinners because of the herbs. It doesn't have anything to do with us. We take orders from the herbs. So yeah, you don't want to make many changes. You just want to add this to your life 3 times a day and bind at night. We do include instructions for our parasite cleanse, but again, you can always message us and we're happy to help you with whatever angle that looks like for you. We don't give medical advice, but we will steer you in the direction of who you can talk with. I do have a lot of practitioners that are in my profile that I love and that have full confidence in everything I talk about, and they're happy to navigate that with you. So red light isn't great in all cases. You're right, it isn't. And I definitely am careful when I do buy, because I have a lot of red light, you guys. I have so much red light. I have like 3 red lights behind me. I have 1 in front of me. I have a wand red light. I mean, red light is my jam. Yeah, you can take the cleanse if you have high blood pressure. I do recommend, Amanda, if you're on any sort of medications, anybody that's on this, you can go into my profile and scroll down to where it says Hello Pharmacist, and you'll type in your medication with our herbs. Usually the herbs that are the most restrictive are white willow bark, Oregon grapefruit, wormwood, and usnea. Those are pretty restricted herbs that could have contraindications, because I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just steering you. I wasn't a nurse. I was a licensed medical specialist, and I worked in the field as like allied health. I worked as an EKG tech. I worked in the ER. I did radiography. I wrote curriculum. So I've kind of been all over. It's kind of like what I'm doing now. I like to do one thing, and then I'm a generator. So I'm a manifestor generator, and we like to move all over. Yeah, we have good ADHD. Honestly, you inspired me to cleanse, and the stuff that are still being evicted, I'm sold. Thank you. Woo! I think naturally, Allie, it's really just about understanding that we just have to give our bodies a little bit of help, right? We just have to add a little bit of additives. Like when you're driving your car in the winter and you get your gas below a half of a tank, it can freeze, causing water inside of your car from the gas, and it can cause your car to putz, okay? So think of that analogy. Now, you are adding an additive to your body when you're using the lymph kit or the Parasite kit to keep your body from, right? That's all you're doing here. That's it. And anything that doesn't like the herbs that you're putting into the body is going to leave, because you're making your body inhospitable. Don't overthink any of this. You're literally using herbs that will help evict things that should not be living in us, that are causing us to not feel good, that are causing us to not have the best quality of life that we can have. We only get one body. We only get this one, unless you're cloned. So we only get this one body, and we want to make the best while we're here. And you don't want to be sick. You don't want to be chronically ill. And so when you're looking at the big picture of all of this, 30 days is not very long. It's not a hard cleanse. It's very gentle. It's 3 times a day. You bind at night, and you do it 3 to 4 times a year. And so when you look at this and you think, have I been to Mexico? Hold on. Have I been to Mexico? Have I drank the country's water in the United States? Do I eat salmon? Do I cook all of my food? Have I cleaned my produce? Do I eat raw produce out? Do I have any pets? Have I been around dogs and pet them? Have all of these answers, if you say yes, you potentially could have a parasite. You can get parasites in so many ways. We just never really thought about it until now. And it's starting to make noise. We're going on our 4th year of constantly doing this. And so if you don't think you have a parasite, try a cleanse, see what comes out. Okay, what do you think of energy medicine? I mean, that's what all of this is. This is all energy medicine. Everything we do is a frequency. Our bodies are frequencies. You bring in a frequency like wormwood, it will blow the frequency up of a parasite, just like when an opera singer sings and shatters the glass with her voice. She got her voice to the same frequency as that glass, because we're all frequency. We're all energy, right? So it's not just energy medicine. We are energy. And if you want to have your energy continue to go, which is ATP, it's mitochondria, it's your powerhouse. You are constantly like this. But when you have parasites stealing your energy, it starts to go like this, right? They're energy vampires. The definition of a parasite is anything that feeds off a host. That's a parasite. So you're the host, and they're stealing your energy, okay? Does yours? Yes. You'll want to take Sustain for pinworms 3 times a day, and you can actually keep taking Sustain even after you do the Parasite kit. Once you get pinworms, or once you get any sort of thing like lice or scabies, it is very difficult to get rid of them. You're the best host, and they know it, and they all like live together. So I definitely recommend taking Sustain for a while, even after you're done with the Parasite cleanse. So it's all in a box. Buy the Parasite kit. You can go to rogershood.com, but it is all in one nice kit. I did that on purpose because this is new to people and it's stressful and overwhelming. I also include instructions. You can email my team anytime, team@rogershood.com. We answer every email, every comment, and every DM. We're here to help you. All of my information is free in my link tree. I don't charge for my ebooks. I don't charge for my knowledge. I just charge for my kit. You know, we all have a job. My job is to talk to you, my community, about environmental toxins and how they affect your health and how much they affected my health, and how important it is to be doing these cleanses to give ourselves a break, to allow our bodies to actually calm down. Yeah, I was on Bloom. I love Mari. Mari is great. I'm so excited for her. She's about to have her baby boy. She was just starting this adventure of infertility and having a baby when I was on her podcast last year at this time. So I'm so excited for her. I cannot wait for her. Bloom is a good product. It's got a little citric acid in some of the things, so just be really conscientious of ingredients. But overall, the intention of Bloom is really great. Let's see. I think it's a sign I need to start my kit. Do it! Do it, friend! Do it! Do it! Yeah, wow, TikTok, that's where I got started. Now, I'm on, which one am I on here? So this one is Instagram, your Instagram and your TikTok, right? Yeah, that's what I did. So that I could save my Instagram on this account. Yeah, so I'm gonna be on for 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go here in 5 minutes. Will you be doing a kids kit? Our kit is already for kids ages 3 and up, so I don't need to do any different kit. Ages 3 and up. It does help with the gut. Yes, it is a gut cleanse. It'll get in there. It'll help renew your smooth lining inside of your stomach. That is where divots happen, and that's where parasites can live, candida can live, diverticulitis can live, all of the bacteria can live. So if you think about your gut as a smooth lining and things get caught inside of divots that get made because of all of the things we eat. So you're going in and you're cleaning that out and you're creating smooth lining again. I don't really know anything about the Raynaud's syndrome. I'm sorry, friend. I'm on 4 years. You stay away from sugar and carbs. Yeah, man. That's the nice thing about this, is that it will help curb your appetite. It will help curb those eating needs that you have, especially while the holidays are coming. Even if you just do this during the holidays, just to not eat that crappy food. Oh my God, I'm guilty of it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of it. Like, I'm kind of excited. My mom makes a really mean Christmas desserts, and so I just don't want to eat so much that it makes me sick. I don't want to eat so much that it's overwhelming. You know, I want to be able to enjoy it and not be stressed and not have it tell me you should eat more and more, and then have all of these side effects after because I ate so terribly during the holidays. I don't want to have to go through all of that. So I'm being really conscientious this holiday season. I'm making sure I fully understand my body and that I can take these tinctures to help curb that sensation of wanting the different sugars, you know. So if you are on this live, rogershood.com is my website. You can actually use Parasite 10 as your discount code to get 10% off of your purchase. And I just really recommend all of the different ways that you can cleanse out your body, boost your immune system with the lymph kit, open up that pathway, and have a better Parasite cleanse by doing the lymph kit first. How do I know which one to buy? Miss Melt, the starter, which is the best. So it's the lymph kit, so the super lymph, and then the ultimate Parasite kit. So is pinworms bad stomach terrain? Just pinworms? I'm not sure what you mean, friend. Thanks, you are right. Toilet paper has chemicals. Everything has chemicals. Toilet paper has bleach, and then you got jeans that have formaldehyde. Like, all we're doing is assisting our bodies, right? We're just wanting to feel and live a better quality of life. That's what this is. It's just learning the information and helping your body. You're just trying to help your body. That's it. I am almost done with my day. I actually thought about doing like a vlog, but I just don't even have time to do a vlog. I have traveled so much in the last couple of months. It's unbelievable. I got home from LA last night and I was there for one night. I went and did a podcast called Oldish. It has Brian Austin Green and Randy Spelling. So I just did that one yesterday. It was really great. And then the week before, where was I? I've been in Nashville. I've been in LA. I was in Miami. I just did a podcast with Samuel. He has a Healthy Viewpoint podcast. I did a podcast with him. Next week, I'm doing a podcast with Joey Lawrence on his podcast, Brotherly Love. And then I just found out I'm doing Jordan Sparks' podcast, which I'm really excited about that. I did Dr. Will Cole's podcast. Again, all of this is because of my community. All of this is because of you guys really liking and subscribing and sharing this information and following me. So make sure you're following me if you're on this. Make sure you go up and you click follow. I need these big tech companies to see that I have a community that's behind me because I'm being shadowed terribly. I've been stuck at 588.5 for months over on TikTok, and I've been stuck at 382 on Instagram for a couple of weeks now. So please like and follow and subscribe and go over to our What's Eating You YouTube podcast, as well as my Mrs. Rogers Hood YouTube, and all of this support helps generate what we're doing here. I'm working with a lawyer to do some medical reform to be able to have the government assist us with parasite and mold and Lyme testing to see what this looks like. And I can't do all of this without your help. I can't do all of this without my community helping this get pushed even more. This has never been about a product for me. This has always been about sharing my journey of how I almost died in 2019 and how I've been able to heal my body and then show it to you guys. How I've been a medical refugee with Western medicine and how I haven't been able to express these things in a normal setting because they just haven't allowed it, right? But we can change this. And that's what we're doing. You're seeing it, right? Your guys are seeing the changes. So if there's anything that I can help you guys with, please don't hesitate to message me, to email me. You can head over to my website, rogershood.com. Your support helps me be able to push this message even more. So thank you so much for all of your guys' kind words. And I just love what I'm doing, and I just appreciate you guys so much. And I look forward to doing more lives. Again, we're going to be doing lives over on Rogers Hood Apothecary's account here soon with Mel. I'm super excited. You guys will love her. I have handpicked her. She used to work with Tony Robbins and Dean, and so she is a motivational speaker. We are so lucky to have her. We're so lucky for her to do our lives and to give this information to you guys as another voice, is another way for everybody to go through and understand how to cleanse their bodies. So Thank you for all of your help, and I will save this on Instagram so you can rewatch it if you want, and I'll save it over on my YouTube account as well. TikTok doesn't let me save it, or I'd save it on TikTok. And if there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you guys. Woo! All right. Bye.